The Toyota Land Cruiser, Japanese, Hepburn, Toyota Randokurz, /LND Cruz/, also sometimes spelled as Land Cruiser, one is a series of four-wheel drive vehicles produced by the Japanese automobile manufacturer Toyota. It is Toyota's longest-running series of models. As of 2019, the sales of the Land Cruiser totaled more than 10 million units worldwide. Production of the first generation of the Land Cruiser began in 1951. The Land Cruiser has been produced in convertible, hardtop, station wagon and cab chassis body styles. The Land Cruiser's reliability and longevity have led to huge popularity, especially in Australia, where it is the best-selling body-on-frame, four-wheel drive vehicle. Toyota also extensively tests the Land Cruiser in the Australian outback, considered to be one of the toughest operating environments in both temperature and terrain. In Japan, the Land Cruiser was once exclusive to Toyota Japanese dealerships called Toyota Store. Since 1990, the smaller variation of the Land Cruiser has been marketed as the Land Cruiser Prado. Described as a light-duty version of the Land Cruiser by Toyota, it features a different design compared to the full-size model and, up until 2023, it remains the only comfort-oriented Land Cruiser available with a short-wheelbase three-door version. As of 2023, the full-size Land Cruiser was available in many markets. Exceptions include the United States, since 2021, 10 Canada, since 1996, 11 Malaysia, which receives the Lexus LX instead, Hong Kong, Macau, South Korea, Brazil, and most of Europe. In Europe, the only countries where the full-size Land Cruiser is officially sold are Gibraltar, Moldova, Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. The Land Cruiser is hugely popular in the Middle East, Russia, and Australia, and also in Africa, where it is used by farmers, the construction industry, NGOs, UN, and humanitarian organizations, by national armies, often the pickup version, as well as by irregular armed groups who turn them into technicals by mounting machine guns in the rear. In August 2019, cumulative global sales of the Land Cruiser family surpassed 10 million units. Origin. In 1936, the Imperial Japanese Army introduced the Kurogain Type 95 four-wheel drive reconnaissance car. However, in a separate development, in 1941, the Japanese government asked Toyota to develop a light truck for the military. And after the Empire of Japan occupied the Philippines, during 1941–1942, a captured Bantam GP, or Willys MB, was sent to Japan for assessment and testing. Japanese military authorities subsequently requested that Toyota produce a similar vehicle, albeit with an altered external appearance. The prototype Model AK led to the Yanshiki Kogata Kamatsusha, Type 4 compact cargo truck. The half-ton truck featured an upright front grille, flat front wheel arches that angled down and back, like the later FJ40, headlights mounted above the wheel arches on either side of the radiator, and a folding windshield. Production AK-10 vehicles were powered by the 2,259 cubic centimeters, 2.3 L, four-cylinder Type C engine from the Toyota Model AE sedan, coupled to a 3-speed manual transmission and a 2-speed transfer gearbox. Unlike the US Jeep, the AK-10 had limited use, and photographs of it in the battlefield are rare. In June 1954, responding to claims of trademark violation by the Willys company that produced the original Jeep, then Director of Technology Hanji Umehara renamed the vehicle Land Cruiser. The post-war Toyota Jeep BJ is completely different from the AK-10 and inherits no mechanical parts from it. However, a lot of lessons learned while developing the AK-10 were applied when developing the BJ. Lineage. Toyota divided the Land Cruiser family into 3 series. The most basic version is the heavy-duty series, which prioritizes functionality, durability, and off-road capabilities over comfort or technology. It is also characterized by flatter steel body panels and a near-vertical greenhouse. Models considered as heavy-duty by Toyota are the BJ, FJ, 20, 40 and 70 series. The station wagon series of the Land Cruiser has more emphasis on comfort and interior space. The station wagon series first appeared in 1967 as the 55 series Land Cruiser station wagon, which was conceived as a four-wheel drive vehicle for recreational use with sufficient space to carry an entire family, a format that was popular with customers in the U.S. Models considered as part of the station wagon series are the 55, 60, 80, 100, 200, and 300 series. Since the 70 series, the light-duty series has been offered. Primarily tuned for the European market, it was intended to be a more comfortable version of the heavy-duty series by adopting coil spring suspension, while being smaller and more affordable than the station wagon series. Since 1990, the light-duty series gained an additional moniker for some markets, Prado, coinciding with the release of the 90 series Land Cruiser that was designed to be more comfort-oriented. Light-duty models included the 70 wagon, 90, 120, 150 and 250 series. Availability of these series varies by market. Until 2021, the US and Canada received the station wagon model, but switched to the smaller light-duty model with the release of the 250 series in 2023. Most of Europe received the light-duty model, while only several European countries also received the station wagon model. BJ and FJ. Overview. Also called Toyota Jeep BJ, 1951–1954. Production 1951–1955. Assembly Toyota City, Japan, Arakawa Auto Body. Body and chassis. Body style 2-door soft top. Layout front engine, 4-wheel drive. Powertrain. Engine 3.4 lb i6. 3.9 LF i6. Transmission 4-speed manual. Dimensions. Wheelbase 2,400 mm, 94.5 in. Length 3,793 mm, 149.3 in. Width 1,575 mm, 62.0 in. Height 1,900 mm, 74.8 in. Curb weight 1,425 kg, 3,141.6 pounds. History. In 1950, the Korean War created demand for a military light utility vehicle. The United States government ordered 100 vehicles with the then new Willis specifications and tasked Toyota to manufacture them. The Toyota Jeep BJ prototype was developed in January 1951. This came from the demand for military-type utility vehicles, much like the British Land Rover Series 1 that was developed in 1948. The Jeep BJ was larger than the original US Jeep and more powerful courtesy of its Type B 3.4-liter 6-cylinder OHV 4-stroke petrol engine which generated a power output of 63 kilowatts, 84 HP, 85 PS, at 3,600 RPM and 215 Nm, 159 lb-ft, of torque at 1,600 RPM. It had a part-time four-wheel drive system like the Jeep. However, and unlike the Jeep BJ had no low-range transfer case. In July 1951, Toyota's test driver Ichiro Tera drove the next generation of the Jeep BJ prototype up to the 6th stage of Mount Fuji, the first vehicle to climb that height. The test was overseen by the National Police Agency, NPA. Impressed by this feat, the NPA quickly placed an order for 289 of these off-road vehicles, making the Jeep BJ their official patrol car. For the first 2 years, manufacture was exclusively to order and in small volumes. In 1953, however, regular production of the Toyota Jeep BJ began at the Toyota Hansaya plant, rolling chassis assembly. The body assembly and painting was done at Arakawa Bankin Kochi KK, later known as Arako, now an affiliate of Toyota Auto Body Company. The Toyota Jeep BJ series was introduced in the following variants: BJT, Touring; BJR, Radio; BJJ, cowl chassis for a fire engine. In June 1954, the name Land Cruiser was coined by the technical director Hanji Umehara. In England we had another competitor Land Rover. I had to come up with a name for our car that would not sound less dignified than those of our competitors. That is why I decided to call it Land Cruiser. He recalls 21. The name had already been used on the Studebaker Land Cruiser, which was produced from 1934 to 1954. The 92 kilowatts, 123 HP, 125 PS, 3.9 L Type F petrol engine was added to the Land Cruiser range for the first time, originally only in the fire engine chassis. The models were renamed BJT, Touring; BJR, Radio; BJJ, cowl chassis for a fire engine; FJJ, cowl chassis for a fire engine; J20, 1955. J20. Overview. Also called Toyota Bandeirante, Brazil. Production: 1955–1960, Japan. 1958–1968, Brazil. Assembly: Toyota City, Japan, Arakawa Auto Body. São Bernardo, Brazil, Toyota do Brasil. Body and chassis. Body style: 2-door soft top, 2-door hardtop, 2-door pickup truck, 5-door station wagon. Layout: front engine, 4-wheel drive. Powertrain: engine 3.4 lb-i6, 3.9 lf-i6. Dimensions: wheelbase 2,285 mm, 90.0 in. 2,430 mm, 95.7 in. 2,650 mm, 104.3 in. History: 1955. The second generation of the Land Cruiser, called the 20 Series, was introduced. It was designed to have a more civilian appeal than the BJ for export reasons. It also had more stylish bodywork and a better ride courtesy of longer 4-plate leaf springs, which had been adapted from the Toyota light truck. It had a more powerful 99 kilowatts, 135 PS, 133 HP, 3.9 L 6-cylinder Type F petrol engine, but adopted the previous generation's 3-speed gearbox. The interior of the vehicles were made more comfortable by moving the engine 120 mm, 4.7 in, forward. The 20 Series still had no low-range transfer case, but had synchromesh on the third and fourth gears. Citation needed. 1957. A 4-door station wagon was added called the FJ35V, which was based on a 2,650 mm, 104.3 in, wheelbase. The Land Cruiser first imported into Australia by B&D Motors as the FJ25/28 cab chassis with Australian-made bodies. 23. The Land Cruiser was the first Japanese vehicle to be regularly exported to the country. 24. A small number of Land Cruisers were initially used in the Snowy Mountains scheme by contractor Tice Constructions. 1958. FJ25 production commenced in Brazil, this being the first Toyota vehicle built outside Japan. These were sold as the Toyota Bandeirante from January 1962, when the Toyota petrol engine was replaced with a Mercedes diesel engine. The word Bandeirante means flag carrier in Portuguese. The FJ25 models were built until August 1968 in Brazil. 26. Production numbers were fairly low. In 1965, the production total was 961 vehicles. Bandeirante timeline: 1959. FJ25 short open, topless, bush drive car Toyota F engine, May 1959 to 1960/61, new in 1959, also referred to as FJ251. 1960/1961. FJ25L short soft top bush drive car Toyota F engine, 1960/1961 to 1960/1961, new in 1960/1961, also referred to as FJ251L. FJ151L short soft top bush drive car Toyota 2F engine, 1960/1961 to December 1961, replaces the FJ25/FJ251 and the FJ25L/FJ251L. there are few mentions in literature and no preserved ones known. It could be even doubted if it's ever been actually built. 1962. TB25L short soft top bush drive car Mercedes OM 324 engine, January 1962 to 1966. Replaces the FJ151L, or FJ25L/FJ251L. TB25L short hard top bush drive car Mercedes OM 324 engine, January 1962 to 1966. New in 1962. TB41L long hard top bush drive car Mercedes OM 324 engine, September 1962 to July 1968, new in 1962. TB51L short pickup with native bed Mercedes OM 324 engine, September 1962 to January 1966. 1965. TB51L3 short 3-door double cabin pickup with native bed and steel bed cover Mercedes OM 324 engine, 1965 to. New in 1965, possibly only one unit was built. 1962-1968. OJ32L short soft top bush drive car Mercedes OM 324 engine, 1966. To August 1968, replaces the soft top TB25L. OJ31L short hard top bush drive car Mercedes OM 324 engine, 1966. To August 1968, replaces the hard top TB25L. TB81L short pickup with native bed Mercedes OM 324 engine, February 1966 to August 1968, replaces the TB51L. J40, 1960. J40. Overview. Also called Toyota Bandeirante, Brazil. Toyota Macho, Venezuela. Production 1960-1984. 1968-2001, Brazil. Assembly. Toyota City, Japan. São Bernardo, Brazil, Toyota do Brasil. Cumana, Venezuela. Jakarta, Indonesia 28. Body and chassis. Body style. 2-door soft top. 2-door hard top. 2-door pickup truck. 4-door station wagon. Layout front engine, 4-wheel drive. Powertrain. Engine. Petrol. 3.9 L FI6. 4.2 L2 FI6. Diesel. 3.0 LB Diesel I4. 3.2 L2B Diesel I4. 3.4 L3B I4. 3.6 LHI6. 4.0 L2 HI6. Transmission. 3-speed manual. 4-speed manual, from 1974. 5-speed manual, from 1984. Dimensions. Wheelbase. 2,285 mm, 90.0 in. 2,430 mm, 95.7 in. 2,650 mm, 104.3 in. 2,950 mm, 116.1 in. Length 3,840.5 mm, 151.2 in. Width 1,666.2 mm, 65.6 in. Height 1,950.7 mm, 76.8 in, soft top. 2,000 mm, 78.8 in, hard top. Curb weight 1,480 kg, 3,263 pounds, soft top. 1,554 kg, 3,427 pounds, hard top. Main article, Toyota Land Cruiser, J40. History. 1960 the 20 series was upgraded to the now classic 40 series. Toyota made many production changes by buying new steel presses. Mechanically, the FJ40 was given a new 93 kW, 126 PS, 125 HP, 3.9 LF engine, and the Land Cruiser finally received low-range gearing, but continued the 3-speed main gearbox. 1965 global production surpassed 50,000 vehicles. The Land Cruiser was the best-selling Toyota vehicle in the United States. 1968 the 100,000th Land Cruiser was sold worldwide. Brazilian J40 production, as the Bandeirante, commenced in September. The Bandeirante has a Mercedes-Benz-built diesel engine generating a power output of 58 kW, 79 PS, 78 HP. 1972 the 200,000th Land Cruiser was sold. 1973 the 300,000th Land Cruiser was sold. The first diesel Land Cruiser was introduced for export based on a long wheelbase with a 6-cylinder H engine citation needed. 1974 a 4-cylinder 3.0 lb diesel engine was offered. The introduction of this engine boosted sales in Japan by putting the Land Cruiser in a lower tax compact freight car category as compared to the 3.9L petrol version. Note, the new B diesel engine was different from the B petrol engine used in the original BJ. 1975 the 3.9L petrol engine was replaced by a larger, more powerful 4.2L 2F unit, and the FJ55 received front disc brakes. The 3.6L H diesel engine was optional in some markets in the HJ45. 1976 FJ40 Land Cruiser, United States version, received front disc brakes like the FJ55. The Toyota Land Cruiser Association was founded in California. 1977 the Irish Army took delivery of the first of 77 FJ45 Land Cruisers. Although fast, reliable and with good off-road performance, the vehicle tended to rust excessively in the wet Irish climate. A few which did not succumb to the effects of weather were repainted in gloss olive green and survive as ceremonial gun tractors at military funerals. 1978 the first BJ/FJ40 and FJ55 models were officially sold in West Germany with both diesel, BJ40, and petrol engines, FJ40/55. 1979 FJ40, United States version, was updated this year with a new wider, square bezel surrounding the headlights. Power steering and cooler were offered in FJ40 for the first time. The diesel engine was improved, evolving into the 3.2L 2B unit but only in Japanese markets. 1980 the H diesel engine, HJ45, was replaced by the 4.0L 2H engine, now with chassis code HJ47. 1981 the diesel version received front disc brakes and the more powerful 3.4L 3B engine, and the LWB BJ45 with 3B engine was added to the range. 1983 the last FJ40s imported to the US were 1983 models, mid-1982 to mid-1983. It is unknown how many were imported by Toyota, but many guess the number to be around 300. The 1983 FJ40s typically bring a premium for their rarity, though they are not much different from 1982 models, mid-1981 to mid-1982. 1984 the North American market was limited to Canada with the BJ42, which had a 5-speed, overdrive, transmission that was widely sought. The original cost was around $14,000. J70, 1984. Main article, Toyota Land Cruiser, J70. J70. Overview. Also called Toyota Makito, Venezuela. Production 1984 present. Assembly. Japan, Toyota, Aichi, Yoshiwara Plant, 30. Colombia, Sofasa, Envigado, Antioquia, Colombia, 3132. Venezuela, Cumana. Portugal, Ovar 33. Body and chassis. Body style. 2-door pickup truck. 2-door hardtop. 2-door softtop. 3-door wagon. 4-door van. Layout: front engine, 4-wheel drive. Powertrain. Engine. Petrol. 2.4 L22RI4, 4.0 L3FI6, 4.5 L1FZFEI6, 4.0 L1GRFEV6. Diesel. 2.4 L2LI4, 2.4 L2LT Turbo i4, 2.5 LVMHR588 Turbo i5, Italy only, 34. 2.8 L1GDFTV Turbo i4, 2023. 3.0 L1KZT Turbo i4, 3.4 L3B i4, 3.4 L13BT Turbo i4, 3.4 LPZ i5, 4.0 L2H i6, 4.2 L1HD FTE Turbo i6, 4.2 L1 Hz i6, 4.5 L1 VDFTV Turbo v8. Transmission. 5-speed manual, 4-speed automatic, 6-speed automatic, 2023. Dimensions. Wheelbase. 2,310 mm, 90.9 in. 2,600 mm, 102.4 in. 2,730 mm, 107.5 in. 2,980 mm, 117.3 in. 3,180 mm, 125.2 in. Length. Light, 4,060 mm, 159.8 in. Regular, 4,875,230 mm, 191.7205.9 in. Width. Light, 1,690 mm, 66.5 in. Regular, 1,791,870 mm, 70.573.6 in. Height. Light, 1,895 mm, 74.6 in, 35. Regular, 1,942,115 mm, 76.483.3 in, 36. History. 1984 J70 was introduced as a soft top, hard top, fiber reinforced plastic top, utility, cab chassis, and troop carrier, inward facing rear seats. The petrol engine was replaced with a 4.0 L3F engine. The 70 Light had a 4-wheel coil spring solid axle suspension for better ride quality. This lighter-duty version of the Land Cruiser had the 2.2R 2.4 L 4-stroke petrol engine, which actually were the 2L and 2LT, turbocharged, 2.4 L diesel engines commonly found in the Toyota Hilux. The 70 Light was sold in some markets as the Bundura or the Land Cruiser 2, later called 70 Prado. The 70 Prado eventually became popular and evolved into the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, J90. An automatic transmission, A440F, was introduced, making it the first four-wheel drive Japanese vehicle with an automatic transmission. 1990 new generation of diesel engines were introduced for the Land Cruiser, including a 3.4 L 5-cylinder SOHC naturally aspirated engine, 1PZ, and a 4.2 L 6-cylinder SOHC naturally aspirated engine, designated the 1 Hz. 1993 to 1996 the KZ 3.0 L turbocharged diesel engine replaced the LJ in the 70 series in European markets, where this model was known as the KZ J70. 1993 an advanced 24-valve, 4.5 L 6-cylinder petrol engine, 1FZ-FE was introduced. 1999 Toyota updated the 70 series in several ways. The solid front axle received coil spring suspension. The rear leaf springs were lengthened for increased ride comfort and wheel travel. The 6-bolt wheels were replaced with 5-bolt wheels. Several smaller modifications to the drivetrain provided increased durability. The long wheelbase models received new designations, 78 for the troop carrier, and 79 for the pickup. 2002 HDJ79 was introduced to Australia with the 1HD FTE 4.2 L 6-cylinder 24-valve turbo diesel EFI engine. 2007 Toyota's first turbo diesel V8 engine, the 1VD-FTV was introduced in some countries for the 70 series Land Cruiser. Other modifications include the addition of a 4-door medium wheelbase model, the 76, and an updated front end on all models. 2012 The 79 double cab pickup was introduced in the South African markets, with the 4.2L diesel or 4.0L petrol engines, and in the Australian market, with 4.5L V8 diesel engine. 2014 to 2015 The 30th anniversary Series 70 sold in Japan as a 4-door wagon or 4-door pickup with the 1GRFE V6 petrol engine and 5-speed manual transmission. 37. The 6th and 7th generations of the Land Cruiser are still being produced and sold in African and Latin American regions. Production of the Land Cruiser in Venezuela ended in 2008. The 70 series is also still marketed in Australia as 4-door wagon, 2-door troop carrier, 2-door cab chassis and 4-door cab chassis. The 70 series is also still being marketed in the Middle East as a 2-door and 4-door version as an SUV, and a 2-door and 4-door version as a pickup, and it is very popular there along with the regular Land Cruiser. Gallery. BJ74 mid-wheelbase FRP top 3.4D TLX. BJ74 mid-wheelbase FRP top 3.4D TLX. VDJ78 troop carrier. VDJ78 troop carrier. VDJ76GXL 5-door wagon. VDJ76GXL 5-door wagon. Station wagon series. J50, 1967. J50. 1979 FJ55, US. Overview. Production 1967-1980. Assembly Toyota City, Japan, Arako. Body and chassis. Body style 5-door SUV. Layout front engine, 4-wheel drive. Powertrain. Engine. 3.9L FI629. 4.2L 2 FI629. Transmission. 3-speed manual. 4-speed manual, J30, H41 or H42. Dimensions. Wheelbase 2700 mm, 106.3 in. Length 4675 mm, 184.1 in. Width 1735 mm, 68.3 in. Height 1865 mm, 73.4 in. The Land Cruiser 55 was produced from 1967 to 1980. Toyota refers to the FJ55G and FJ55V as the first real station wagon in the Land Cruiser series, thus marking the beginning of the station wagon body style. It was the first Land Cruiser to have fully enclosed box frame members. Of all the Land Cruiser wagons sold in the US, including the FJ45, it is the only one to not have hatch and tailgate in the rear, but rather a tailgate only with an electrically operated window that can be retracted into the tailgate. 38. History. 1967 production of the FJ55 began. The FJ55 was a 4-door station wagon version based on the FJ40S drivetrain, replacing the 4-door FJ45V-I. It was colloquially known as the Moose. It has also been referred to as a pig or an iron pig. The FJ55 had a longer wheelbase, at 2,700 mm, 106 in, and was mainly designed to be sold in North America and Australia. Fire engine versions were also available, using the regular front clip but with open bodywork and no doors. 39. 1975 January 1975 saw the F-Series engine being replaced by the 2F engine. 29 Unusual for Toyota, the model designation, e.g. FJ55, did not change, except in Japan, where it was changed to FJ56. July 1980 production ends. Gallery. Rear view. Rear view. J60, 1980. J60. Overview. Also called Toyota Samurai, Venezuela. Production 1980-1992. Assembly. Toyota City, Japan, Araco. Cumana, Venezuela. Body and chassis. Body style 5-door SUV. Layout front engine, 4-wheel drive. Powertrain. Engine. Petrol. 4.2 L2 Fi6, FJ60. 4.0 L3 Fi6, FJ62. 4.0 L3 FEI6, FJ62 from 1988. Diesel. 3.4 L3 BI4, BJ60. 4.0 L2 HI6, HJ60. 4.0 L12 HT Turbo i6, HJ61. Transmission. 4-speed H41F or H42F manual, United States only. 4-speed A440F automatic. 5-speed H55F manual. Dimensions. Wheelbase 2730 mm, 107.5 in. Length 4675 mm, 184.1 in. Width 1800 mm, 70.9 in. Height 1750 mm, 68.9 in. The Land Cruiser 60 series was produced from 1980 through 1990, for most markets, but the Cumana plant in Venezuela continued production until 1992 for their local market. It is a front-engine, 4-door wagon which can seat 5 to 8, 40, 41, 42 people. The 60 series was available in the following exterior colors: Alpine White, Brown, Desert Beige, Freeborn Red, Royal Blue, and in the following metallic exterior colors: Charcoal Grey, Cognac, Grey Blue, Root Beer, Sky Blue, Stardust Silver. History. 1980 the 60 series was introduced. While still retaining the rugged off-road characteristics of previous Land Cruisers, the 60 was designed to better compete in the emerging sport utility vehicle market. The 60 was given a variety of creature comforts like air conditioning, a rear heater and an upgraded interior. The FJ60's 2F petrol engine was left unchanged from the 40 series, while the 6-cylinder 4.0 L2H and the 4-cylinder 3.4 L3B diesel engines were added to the lineage. Less equipped versions were also available in many markets. In Europe this model was sold as the Land Cruiser Wagon Van 43. 1981 Land Cruiser sales surpassed 1 million and a high-roof version was introduced. The 60 series was introduced to South Africa when a stock Land Cruiser competed in the Toyota 1000 km desert race in the punishing wilds of Botswana. 1984 this was the final year for the 40 series. 1984 alongside the 60 series, the 70 series was introduced. 1985 the direct injection 1.2 HT turbo diesel engine was introduced. 1988 the petrol engine was upgraded in some countries to a 4.0 L3 FEEFI engine or to a 4.0 L3F carburate engine. The FJ62 GVX series was introduced, allowing the Land Cruiser to be sold in Japan as a passenger vehicle. 1992 last FJ62 with a 4.0 L3F carburate engine was built in Venezuela, which was the only country producing the vehicles after production ended in Japan in 1990. Gallery. Toyota Land Cruiser post facelift. Toyota Land Cruiser post facelift. Toyota Land Cruiser, FJ60, pre-facelift, rear view. Toyota Land Cruiser, FJ60, pre-facelift, rear view. Toyota Land Cruiser GX, FJ62, post-facelift, rear view. Toyota Land Cruiser GX, FJ62, post-facelift, rear view. J80, 1990. J80. Overview. Also called Lexus LX 450. Toyota Land Cruiser Otana, Colombia and Venezuela. Wanli Land Cruiser, China, JV, 44. Xingkai HXK 5022XSC, China, JV, 45. Production. January 1990 December 1997 46. 1992-2008, Venezuela, 47. Assembly. Toyota City, Japan, Araco. Cumana, Venezuela. Zhangjiang, Guangdong, China, Xingkai. Designer Kitano Kaizo, 1987, 484950. Body and chassis. Body style 5-door SUV. Layout front engine, 4-wheel drive. Powertrain. Engine. Petrol. 4.0 L3 FEI6. 4.5 L1 FZ FEI6. Diesel. 4.2 L1 Hz i6. 4.2 L1 HDT turbocharged i6. 4.2 L1 HDFT turbocharged i6. Transmission. 4-speed manual. 4-speed A440F automatic. 4-speed A442F automatic. 4-speed A343F automatic. 5-speed H150F manual. 5-speed H151F manual. Dimensions. Wheelbase 2850 mm, 112.2 in. Length. 4780 mm, 188.2 in, 1990-94. 4820 mm, 189.8 in, 1995-97. Width. 1830 mm, 72.0 in, 1990-91. 1930 mm, 76.0 in, 1992-97. Height. 1785 mm, 70.3 in, 1990-91. 1860 mm, 73.2 in, 1992-94. 1870 mm, 73.6 in, 1995-97. Curb weight. 2084 kilograms, 4,594 pounds, 1990-92. 2159 kilograms, 4,760 pounds, 1993-97. The Land Cruiser 80 series was unveiled in October 1989 at the Tokyo Motor Show and launched in early 1990. It had swing-out back doors, which were replaced by a tailgate and hatch in 1994. The Land Cruiser was nicknamed the Burbuja, Bubble, in Colombia and Venezuela due to its roundness. The J80 was initially offered in two versions in these countries, the fully loaded VX and an entry-level model that included a vinyl interior with optional air conditioning. In 1996, the entry model was upgraded to a medium-equipped model named Otana, including cloth upholstery, standard air conditioning and power driver seat. The name is a reference to the Tepuy Mesa Otana, a spectacular plateau and cave system along the Guyana Shield Craton. Land Cruiser sales reached 2 million vehicles. History. 1990 – The 80 series station wagon was introduced, replacing the 60 series. All 80s sold in North America and Europe now have a full-time four-wheel drive system. In Japan, Africa, and Australia, a part-time system was still available. 80s produced between 1990 and 1991 had an open center differential which was lockable Indiana 4HI and automatically locked in 4LO. From 1992 onward, vehicles with anti-lock brakes had a viscous coupling that sent a maximum of 30% torque to the non-slipping axle. The differential was lockable in 4HI and automatically locked in 4LO. 1990 A new generation of diesel engines were introduced, adding to the engines available in the 80 series. The 80 series came with either a 3FE, 6-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine, a 6-cylinder SOHC naturally aspirated diesel engine, 1 Hz, or a 1 HDT direct injection turbo diesel. 1991 By mid-1991 the 3FE engine was introduced to the Australian market, a fuel-injected version of the 3F engine. 1993 An advanced 24-valve, 4.5L 6-cylinder petrol engine, 1FZ FE was introduced. Larger brakes were added from October 1992 and the total wheelbase was made slightly longer. Front and rear axle lockers, code K294, were available as an option. The high pinion electric locking front differential became available in the US models. In May 1993, Toyota began using R134 refrigerant in the air conditioning system. Serial numbers lower than JT3DJ81XXXXX38947 use the R12 refrigerant. 1994 A limited edition called the Land Cruiser Blue Marlin, FZJ80, was introduced to the Australian market. They have 4.5L straight-six petrol engines with double overhead cams, an automatic or manual transmission and 158 kilowatts, 215 PS, 212 HP, at 4,600 RPM. The car is blue from the Blue Marlin fish and they have the Blue Marlin logo throughout the car. Some of the features that the Blue Marlin included were altimeters, power windows, disc brakes, leather gear knob and steering wheel, central locking, leather trim, chrome handles and side steps, 16-inch alloy wheels, limited slip differential, anti-lock brakes, ABS, power steering, CD or cassette players, fender flares, and a limited edition bull bar. Only 500 were made. 1995 driver and passenger airbags were introduced as were adjustable shoulder belt anchors and an anti-lock braking system. The TOYOTA badge was replaced with the modern, ovoid Toyota logo. 1996 In the Dakar Rally, a pair of Land Cruisers finished first and second in the unmodified production class. North American and British models adopted anti-lock brakes and airbags as standard equipment. The Land Cruiser was withdrawn from Canada this year and was replaced by the more luxurious Lexus LX 450. 1997 A limited run of Land Cruiser 80 was built specifically for collectors and is therefore called the Land Cruiser Collector's Edition. The Collector's Edition has Collector's Edition badging, Collector's Edition embroidered floor mats, automatic climate control, wheels with the D windows painted dark gray and special